everyone. On behalf of FLO Chairperson Priya Gazdar and YFLO Chairperson Riddhi Jain, I, Radhika Agarwal, Growthforge and Digital Literacy Head, warmly welcome our esteemed speakers and mentors, Mr. Lokesh Nathany and Ms. Renuka Bodla, FLO past chase members and aspiring entrepreneurs. Today marks the start of an extraordinary journey. Each of you carries a unique vision, a spark of innovation that has the potential to transform industries and create lasting impact. Spark Tank is not a competition, it's an arena where dreams take shape, bold ideas meet practical execution, and entrepreneurial spirit is put to ultimate test. This is a journey to refine your thinking, challenge your perspectives, and build resilience. Today's session will set the stage for what lies ahead. We'll walk you through the process, the expectations, and most importantly, the mindset needed to succeed in this competitive yet incredibly rewarding journey. So I urge each one of you to listen, learn, and participate fully. Once we embark on this journey, I'd like to leave you with one thought: the spark of your idea, when fueled by determination and supported by this vibrant community of flow and YFlow, has the potential to ignite a brighter future, not just for you, but for society at large. Welcome to Spark Tank. Together, let's create waves of innovation and impact. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat box. We'll take it at the end of the session. Now, I would like to invite FLO Chairperson Priya Gazdar to address our members.
Thank you, Radhika. Namaste. Esteemed speakers, Lokesh, Nathany, and Renuka Bodla, our past chairpersons, and FLO and YFLO members in the Zoom room. Welcome to the orientation session of what we are calling the Spark Tank. It is a joint effort of FLO and YFLO Hyderabad to equip all our flowpreneurs at all stages and of all sizes of business with the skills, resources, and connections needed to launch, upscale, or diversify successfully, and to help those of you who are aspiring for entrepreneurship to identify your niche and prepare you for the real world. In just a few weeks with us, you will gain access to offline, online, and one-on-one mentorship from seasoned entrepreneurs and startup mentors, from professors of leading business schools. There'll be exposure visits to startup incubators and practical guidance, of course. This will not only help you validate your ideas on account of the real-time, real-world feedback, but also will help you refine your pitch to potential investors. With structured guidance on business modeling, on market strategy, product development, storytelling, networking, and much more, you can acquire the competitive edge that will position you for success in the real business world. You have taken that crucial first step towards your entrepreneurial journey by being here today. Congratulations, and I'm totally looking forward to seeing you all as part of this very topical program. I'm deeply grateful to Spark Tank mentors Renuka and Lokesh for coming on board with us despite their hectic schedules. Their guidance will play a crucial role in helping us steer the program in the right direction. My congratulations to the FLO Growthforge team headed by Radhika Agarwal and supported by Shravika Vadavalli, Sheetal Agarwal, Nitika Khandelwal, and Kirti Chintalapudi for putting together this very interesting and valuable program. And also to the YFLO team headed by Aarti Saraf. I'll now hand you over to Riddhi Jain, Chairperson, YFLO Hyderabad. And ladies, please put yourself on mute, but keep your videos on. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Priya. Good afternoon and a very, very warm welcome to all the innovators. As we gather here today, I encourage you to pause and reflect on the extraordinary potential of your ideas. Each one of you holds within you the power to disturb industries, uplift communities, and shape the future. Steve Jobs once said, "Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower." And today, by being here, you've all chosen the step into the role of a leader to dream bigger, think bolder, and embrace the the extraordinary. At Flow and YFlow, we believe that every idea is a seed with infinite possibilities. But even the most brilliant ideas need courage, creativity, and guidance to grow. That's where Spark Tank comes in. This isn't just a workshop, it's a transformational journey for all of you. And no great journey is traveled alone. Success is a collective achievement built on shared wisdom and collaboration. Today, you all have the privilege of learning from two extraordinary mentors, Mr. Lokesh Nathany, a visionary in finance and storytelling, and Ms. Renuka Bodla, a dynamic startup, investor, and mentor. Welcome you, ma'am and sir. Remember, the greatest ventures often start as the simplest ideas. What separates the dreamers from achievers is the courage to take that first very step. So I encourage you all to come along and participate in the Spark Tank, which is your launch pad for greatness. I encourage you to seize this moment, be curious, ask questions, connect deeply, not only with your mentors, but with each other. Let's create an ecosystem of learning, innovation, and collaboration that ignites change and sparks lasting impact. With this incredible success of our Mindshare program, we designed the Spark Tank to take things further. Thank you, and I request Radhika to take over.
Riddhi. We are delighted to introduce our esteemed mentors, Mr. Lokesh Nathany and Ms. Renuka Bodla. With the extensive expertise in business strategy and ventures, they will guide and support you in elevating your ideas and ventures to the next level. I would now like to invite Growthforge team member Shravika Chaudhary to introduce Mr. Lokesh Nathany.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. I'm introducing Lokesh Nathany. He is a renowned storyteller, motivation speaker, sales coach, and also a TEDx speaker. He founded My Innings, a platform bringing together achievers, speakers, and subject experts to inspire transformation through conversations and shared experiences. After 25 years in the corporate world, Lokesh pursued his passion for storytelling to inspire positive change, helping people lead happier, more successful lives. Over the last 5 years, Lokesh has conducted 200 plus sessions for companies, institutions, and communities and mentored over 150 speakers, helping them become stage ready. His curated talk show has garnered over 4.5 million views on the social media. Recognized as one of the 100 most impactful learning and development minds and 50 most innovative storytellers by the World HRD Congress, he was also honored by the Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu, for his contributions. Guided by his mantra, if you can tell a story, you can influence. If you can influence, you can change life. So Lokesh continues to inspire and transform. Welcome, Lokesh. And over to Sheetal to introduce our next mentor, Renu.
Renuka ji is a seasoned digital leader with and startup enthusiast investor with 24 years of global experience, including 8 years in the US. As a venture partner at Silver Needle Ventures, investor in other funds like Triple IT Hyderabad Tech Fund, Succeed Innovation, and a mentor at CIE, Triple IT Hyderabad, she actively fosters innovation and digital transformation. Also, did a OTT show, Nenu Superwoman, and AHA promoting women entrepreneurship. Previously, she led Novartis Biome India, driving digital transformation and innovation, forging key partnership with tech ecosystems. With a strong background working at Oracle, Cisco, GE, and Novartis, Renuka brings extensive expertise in IT, entrepreneurship, and business strategy. Renuka is passionate about mentoring startups and holds degrees in pharmacy, computer information systems, and business management from IIM Calcutta. In her spare time, she also enjoys music and blogging.
Thank you, Sheetal. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Lokesh, who will be sharing insights on what it takes to bring your idea to life, Learn strategies to scale your startup or new venture. See how Spark Tank can be your springboard to success. Welcome, Mr. Lokesh.
Hi, thanks Radhika, thanks Priya, thanks Ravika for the introduction. I'm very, very excited and happy to be here. Little nervous as well, being the lone man in a crowd of about 52 women. So let me try and give my best. So welcome everybody. I don't know how excited you all are to be here. I'm very excited to be here, and I'm sure the Spark team and Renuka also very, very excited to be here and part of this wonderful initiative of Spark. Now, what I want to do is next about 15 minutes, we'll try and keep it very, very interactive, because I always believe that communication is best when it is two-way rather than just coming and doing a monologue. So I do not have a monologue, and I'll take help of a few images of PPT. So just allow me a minute. I guess you all can see this. And as I said, we'll keep it very, very interactive. We'll use extensively the chat box. And if you have a point to make or a question to ask, please raise your hand when we'll call your name, and you can ask the question. So moving forward. So what comes to your mind when we say the word entrepreneur? It's one of the most spoken about word in last 15, 20 years, especially. But what comes to your mind when I say the word entrepreneur, or what is entrepreneur to you, or where it is derived from? You all are welcome to answer this. You can use the chat box. So own business. Okay, Kanika says own business. Shivani says hustler, owner, generating income. Nice. One person does it all. Control of the strategy. Great. Any idea from where the word entrepreneur was derived from?
Enterprise.
Enterprise, okay. So let me share with you, the word entrepreneur was derived from Sanskrit. It's antaprerna, inspiration from within. That is how the word entrepreneur was derived. And the legend has it that it actually, in French, there was a French verb called entreprendre, meaning to undertake. Now, the French, when they came to India, they loved this, how the monks were very, very free-thinking people. And when they asked monks to explain from where do they get this, free thinking, the inspiration, etc., and they said it's antraprerna in Sanskrit, which means the inspiration from within. And that is how the word entrepreneur came out from antraprerna. And it was popularized by 1800. It became like the word by French-Irish economist Jean-Baptiste. Now, why I'm sharing this with you, I always believe that we all should know a little bit about the history or what has gone into it, so that, we can relate to it. That, am I an entrepreneur? Do I have enough inspiration from within? Or am I doing this because somebody wants me to do it? So I think for successful entrepreneurs across the world, the most important thing is from within, the inspiration from within, where you decided, you've taken a decision to undertake something. Any role models or any favorite entrepreneur that you all have? You want to share in the chat box? Anybody that you look up to and say, oh, wow, this is one entrepreneur that I follow, or I really want to be someone like her. Anybody, can be female, can be male, whatever. Any role models you have? Elon Musk, the latest buzz in the world. Steve Jobs, yes. Warren Buffett, Ratan Tata, sir. Ranveer yeah, the podcast man. Ranveer, yeah. Allahabadi, whatever. Oprah Winfrey. Finally, I get a lady name. Anybody else? Closer to our home, are there any entrepreneurs that you look up to? They're struggling with names. Okay, anybody will do. Falguni Nair, okay, Priya writes. Sudha Murthy, Anita Dongre, yes. Great. So what I'm going to do is the proper story. Yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you a few images. You need to identify who that person is, and let's see what the story is. I guess this is a very easy one. Can you identify the entrepreneur on the screen? Falguni Nair. Yeah. Anybody quickly want to raise and say a few lines. So what does she do and what is her success or which brand that she works for? Anybody, quickly.
Nika.
Hey, Nika. So she was a banker. She used to work for Kotak and she started her company. She left her job when she was 50. So the important thing is that age is, just a number. At 50, she decided to quit her corporate life at Kotak and started her own company. And she is, one of the two self-made billionaire women in the country. And so it's a great success, a very, very popular name, very inspiring. So for me, the message is that if she can start at 50, leave the comfort of her job and think of becoming an entrepreneur, I'm sure many of us can. Let's see who the next, anybody for this name. Any of you can identify lady entrepreneur who's sitting in the center of the picture. And few not so popular names, because sometimes we don't know that there are stories. So the picture of the lady by name Nirmala. Her story is about a single mom starting a proper business and how business big now for people to notice. She owns Anwar. Can we? Yeah. So she lost her husband with 3 children with her. She was all single mother and struggling financially because not coming from a background where she could, think to live her life properly. She was supported by her mother, brother, and her bhabhi when they pushed her and they said, "Why don't you start doing something?" So she started this making from home these papad, and today she makes about 150 varieties of various Rajasthani snacks. She does a turnover of about close to 2 lakh rupees a month, and her products are also available on Amazon. So despite having no background of studies or any kind of luxury or any kind of comfort that she had of either education or money, she decided to challenge the situation that she was in. And today you'll find a story when you do Google. Her name is Nirmala Sekhawat. Let's move to the next one. Let's see this one. I'm sure most of you will be able to.
Lokesh, we are getting complaints about voice cracking, connection not clear. Can you just maybe up your volume or do something?
Hey, I'll do that. I'm on 5G full this thing, but I will let me put the AC off. Maybe I'll speak a little louder. Is that better now? Can we have a thumbs up? Okay, great. Yeah. So I hope the voice is not cracking now. See, if the voice is cracking for few and not cracking for few, it means you'll have to speak to Mr. Ambani for the network, for the Geo network if you are using. Yeah, on a serious note, so that is Ghazal Alag. Yes, the entrepreneur who owns and runs Mama Earth. Do you know how this all started? How Mama Earth was started? Anybody? Yeah, go ahead, Sheet. One plus.
She wanted some chemical-free products for her own child, actually.
Right.
So she started this journey by trying to find some pure homemade and not chemically laden items for her own child first.
Right, absolutely. And that is how she decided that if this is my problem, so many moms must be facing this problem. And she started in 2016, and today it's a 700 crore company. So imagine a simple problem at home. She could have just gone ahead and bought some products from somewhere. She did import few things from US for a child. She bought from US, but she decided to convert that challenge into a business, and it's a 700 crore business. Thank you so much for that answer. How about this one? Anybody? Any clue? Okay, so it's a tough one because we only get to know the known entrepreneurs who are visible socially and otherwise. So that's Harpriya and her mother Banu. They started a company with about 5,000 rupees. They started to make toys that will help kids learn faster. A brand called Extro Kids. That's how they started and started doing well. And a time came when the business came down completely. And they realized that if they don't build the e-commerce platform, probably they'll be out of business. They had no money to build that platform, and they almost went from top to zero in the business. And then somebody suggested that why don't you post a video about the product? And she shot a video with her mom demonstrating how these toys can be very useful to the child. And the first video got 60,000 views. And that completely changed. And today, starting from a very small order, today they get about 15,000 orders a month of the toys that they make. And they have 5 lakh plus followers on Insta. So again, a great story coming from a small town and just an idea to help children and turned out into business. This one, anybody? I'm hoping that some of you will know this lady on the picture on the screen. She runs a very, very large business. Okay, great. So let me break this thing. So that's Rajni Bector. Have you heard of Bector Foods? So Rajni Bector ji started at the age of 17 in the city of Ludhiana. She got married very early at the age of 16. She started this. She started making ice creams at home, and she invested only 300 rupees. This was way back in 70s. She lost that money. Seeing her passion and her passion to do something, her husband gave her 20,000 rupees to start a business. She opened a company in the name of Cremica, sounding like cream ka. And today, her market cap is 10,000 crore plus, and the family owns 50% equity of the company. So imagine from a small town of Ludhiana way back in 70s with 300 rupees start. Today, she owns a company 10,000 crore worth market cap. Why I'm saying this again, I mean, doesn't matter where you are, whether you have enough resources or not. If you're very passionate about it, chances are that you will be able to take it to the next level. And the last one, any idea about this one? So this is a story of Krishna Yadav, the lady on the right. That's Krishna Yadav. She manufactures pickles. She makes pickles and sell them. She started with 500 rupees, came from UP to Delhi, used to sit on the streets of Delhi to sell pickle, what she used to make. And today her empire is about 5 crore worth business that she does. She runs a factory which is in 5-storied. Imagine coming from UP, no business background. All she had was she wanted to do something. Started by selling pickles on the streets of Delhi, and today a 5 crore company and a 5-story factory which she owns and she runs it. So and it's run under the name of Sri Krishna Pickles. Now, why am I sharing these stories with you? Any idea?
To inspire and to say it's never too late.
Inspiration, never too late. Yes. What else?
Sometimes we put off an idea thinking that how can I make a papad? How will I earn? What will an HR feed me? Means how much I can earn. That way we put off some small ideas, which might make into a bigger dream later.
Absolutely. Very true. And as Sunita said, to help us understand that everything starts small, nothing is impossible, all women to be inspired more, etc., etc. So what happens is in our journey of being an entrepreneur, we'll go through lots of ups and downs. A lot of doubts will come. We'll have enough uncle, aunties on the sidelines will say, tumse na ho paega. Why are you getting into this unnecessary? You're leading a comfortable life. They don't realize and understand that you're doing it not just for money, but also for yourself. So to overcome, so whenever we hear such stories, they help us, go to the next level. They help us overcome challenge. And that's why stories are very, very important. And stories are easy to remember as well. If I had just put some data, you'll not remember. But now these stories, hopefully, some of it you'll remember that how it all started. So that's why it's very, very important. Now, moving on, as an entrepreneur, what do you think are your pain points? You can type in the chat box and be honest. We all have pain points. Believe you me, doesn't matter, whether you are Priya, the chairperson, or Renuka, or anybody else. We all have our pain points in the work that we do, right? So, what are your pain points? If you can just, because this will help us at Spark Tank to, go to the next level. Or we have everybody here who has no pain points, right? Guidance, consistency, fear of failure, yes. Marketing, competitiveness, tumse na ho paega, of course. That's such a, we have enough people motivating us and enough people who are saying, tumse management, operations, great. So we'll try and see how we can address these pain points. Next, do you all have the answers that you're looking for? Losing interest, yes, that's a big one. Sometimes we get distracted and we say, chodo yaar, abhi kaun ye musibat palega, right? So yes, so we have some answers. We don't have all the answers. Do you all want the answers? And what will it take to go to the next level? How many of you want it? Let me see if we get good number of yeses here, because that will be an inspiration for us at the Spark team. Yes, of course, we want it. Great. So let me share with you a story. And before I conclude, so there was this priest who was a pandit tha, who was serving, who was working at a temple for 40 years. He was serving the God. He did nothing else in his life. 40 years, 24 by 7, he was serving God at the temple. It so happened the village where the temple was, it was struck by a massive flood. A situation came where the government said everybody has to move out, and people started to move out. They came to the Pandit as well and said, Pandit ji, aapko bhi yahan se nikalna padega. Yahan pe koi bach nahi paega. The floods were so bad. And he refused. He said, nahi, till God doesn't come and help me, I'm not going to leave this place, because I've served him 40 years. Now it is his time to help me from the situation. So people started to leave the village. Water level started to rise. The Pandit went to the roof of the temple because the water was rising very, very fast. He was on the roof of the temple. The rescue team came with a boat, requested him, pleaded him. He just refused. He said, no, till God doesn't come and help me, I'm not going to go from here, because I served him for 40 years. The boat fellow, the rescue team left him as it is. Then came a final helicopter coming to look for people if anybody is left. They request this Pandit and he refused to go. Finally, the Pandit obviously dies in the flood. Bhagwan ke yahan pahunchta and he is furious. He shouts at the God and said, God, I served you for 40 years. Couldn't you have saved me? I was waiting for you. And God said, you know what? I sent you help twice. First the boatman and then the helicopter, but you refused to take help. Now, why I'm sharing this with you, help comes in different shapes and sizes. God will always be sending its messengers. God never appears himself or herself. God sent messengers. Now, do you know who are your messengers of God? Any idea? Yes? Any idea who are your messengers in your journey of entrepreneurship? Can be anyone, business coach, okay? Anybody who helps us in the process, family, okay? If today you, okay, thank you so much, clients, family, etc. If I had got the answer that I was looking for, I would have given some prize, but okay, mentors, partly true. So the team Spark Tank, I think, that's the way I look at it, and the mentors, because we have come together. So I'm not trying to put a crown on myself or Renuka or the team Spark Tank. I'm just saying that help comes in various shapes and sizes. It is up to us whether we take it or not. If we take it, great. If we don't take it, we may be that Pandit in the story. Now, for me, who are mentors? Spark team, you all know. You all have been part of Flow for long enough. For me, mentor is somebody whose job is, and I'm including. So here officially me and Renuka are mentors, but I'm sure the whole Spark team is mentor in the entire journey of Spark Tank. So for me, mentor means, somebody so our idea is that will inspire you, will encourage you to achieve your goals, will empower you with tools and guidance that will help you. We will help you understand the power of networking and how networking can be a game changer in the journey of entrepreneurship. We will transform you so that growth and development is part of you. We will optimize you by bringing the best out of you. We will refine you. We'll polish the skills and mindset that is required for the success. And finally, we'll support you in this journey as an entrepreneur. And this is how I feel that Spark Tank team and me and Renuka together, we all can do some wonderful things at Spark Tank. But to achieve that, the most important thing is that you all have to come on board of Spark Tank, because if you are not joining the Spark Tank, this amazing initiative, chances are that whatever I'm speaking probably will only be left to this call. So thank you so much once again. Thank you, Radhika, for introducing me to Flow. Thank you, Priya, for accepting me and all of you. And I'm really looking forward to and very, very excited about this whole journey. Thank you. I hope I finished on time.
Thank you, Lokesh, for talking about the power of stories. It was very interesting, and how to convert our pain points into USPs. Now I invite Ms. Renuka Bodla to share real-life stories of success, failure, and the reason that fuel other entrepreneurial journeys. What kind of a role an investor could play in their growth journey and how Spark Tank could enable that connect.
Hello, everyone. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, Renuka.
Okay, great. First of all, thank you, Lokesh, for setting the stage so well. And I think this becomes very easy for me to, start off from where you have left. And as Lokesh has supported through a story on why you have to join Spark Tank, I want to share a real-time story which happened on my journey with Shark. It's called Nenu Superwoman, similar to Shark Tank, but it was in Telugu. And since we have not gone through the process of the overall Spark Tank, I'll just give a sneak peek into how it works, where the startup founders go through a 1 month of process with respect to training, fine tuning the pitches, learning on understanding the business model well, and then they present to the investors. And once they present, I think definitely it's a competitive environment, and the selected folks definitely get an offer. And on that show, I remember, I think we making an offer, and we were a bunch of like 6 or 7 angels, and together, I'm sure we have made an offer to pretty much everyone. And when it was like an NGO kind of set, it was more a grant, but others were kind of a commercial engagement. And out of, the 40 participants, 30 of them, we did that. And to our surprise, by the end of the show, I think mostly 80% of them kind of got different offers at a better valuation, and sometimes it was triple the valuation and a better I think deal. And the only reason I could think of was that when they were part of the show, I think definitely the biggest element is the visibility they get. Because when you are part of such programs and when you get selected and you get an offer, it speaks volumes about the capability of you, your team, and the business. So, and when you go through this overall process as well, you definitely fine tune on your communications, etc. But also it gives you a lot of clarity about your own business. And when you have more clarity and then trying to align, the business model along with what is there in the market and align with the market need, there is a higher potential for you to succeed. And that's what I think the investors look for. And when you finally present, I think you have more chances of getting bigger offers. So that's a very real story that I experienced. And I think that is one of the main reason you should not say no to this. And as I'm a Toastmaster, and as our mantra follows, never say no to stage time. I mean, kya jata hai? I mean, nothing you can lose, by participating in this. And there's only things that get better than what you are right now, right? So, and the other thing is the environment that you are in. Like, it's all the members you were part of over the years. And definitely the structured training program is a very safe and secure environment for you to also experiment and see. So when you have an opportunity like that, I think you should definitely just go and grab it and go for it. I would say things can only get better, right? And then, there is other purpose for which I think you should be part of, some of these programs. And as Lokesh mentioned, the help could come in various forms, because over the journey, I think you're not only talking to me and Lokesh, there are various other experts that are going to join, and never know where the help could come from, right? And also the focus should be more on, you could either make a choice of, okay, staying as is what you are doing, and maybe, keeping at the status quo, or taking it further and then expanding it. So basically making the pie bigger. Like whenever you make the pie bigger, like definitely, you have more opportunity to be inclusive with creating employment, adding more, mentors into your board, and I mean the advisors and all. And definitely generating employment is such a great opportunity to contribute to the socioeconomic conditions of a society, right? And I mean, when you have that capability, I think you should just go for it. So those are the reasons I thought maybe you should just see how to explore this opportunity. And also the other aspect I want to cover is that why you should not lose this moment of truth. Because I'll tell another real-time story where I was a mentor for few years, so I keep talking to a lot of startup founders. So what I'm sharing is like all these are real stories. So a women startup founder came to me, and she was in a ERP system space where she worked on it for 10 years, and she had very good business coming from 1 or 2 clients from SAP, some of these established brands. But after 10 years, it became very difficult for her to scale, one. And second one is none of these businesses are like a one-man army, right? Because you need to have a larger team so that you can scale. So when you are not able to scale to other regions, when you don't have the team, and then you go and ask for funding, it's too late in the game, right? Because whenever you are seeking investments, people would look for anything that is lesser than 5 years, or maybe somebody who is started off over the few years, so that there is more potential for someone to add value. So that is other reason where you should not let go and think after a few years about, okay, let me go to the investors. Maybe sometimes you would lose the boat, right? So these are a few aspects I want to cover. And also, as part of this program, we also want to highlight that you will have access to a lot of investors and mentors, etc. So from the investor perspective, I also want to highlight like what could be the benefits that you would get. Because everybody could have this question, right? Like you could always go and get funding from a bank or maybe other financial institutes, but there is always an, ask for the collateral or various other constraints are there. Only through this startup institutional investment firm, funding channel, they bet on you for just the equity, but nothing else, right? So they definitely hope that your business becomes, definitely more progressed, and the returns are more through the profits you generate, which is a very, I think you wouldn't really get that, opportunity in any other aspect, right? So these are the few reasons I want to highlight on why you need to not say no to this opportunity and just go and grab it and hit the register button now, okay? And to support some of these, insights that me and Lokesh shared, I also want to cover some of the case studies. So I put together, I think, 3 or 4 case studies, which can reflect on how this collaboration of a founding team along with investors and mentors could make your business, more scalable, and more profitable. So Radhika, can we share the slides? Yeah. Thank you, Nitika. So as I mentioned, the role of the investors, as I mentioned, is definitely capital investment, which is the access to the capital for, startups is not so easy from other channels. So I think this is a very great opportunity that you should explore. And because some of these networks and the firms have great network, it is much easier for us to go penetrate into newer markets or business development, etc. And the other thing is, whenever you're backed by a institutional investment firm or if a investor who has the credibility in the market, it sends a lot of signals into the ecosystem saying that yes, I think this particular startup has been backed by so and so firm, so and so investor. I'm sure there is something great about it, right? So I'm sure everyone does their own background work, but it definitely gives a lot more confidence for someone to come on board for you and help further, right? So these are the few things. Next slide. So as we have heard earlier, Nykaa was one case study I know which is definitely very inspiring. And as we know that, sorry, there's a repeat line, ignore that. But as we know, I think the founder, Falguni, has started at a very, late in her life at 50, which just shows age is not a number, as, Lokesh mentioned. But I'm sure that's not a single woman journey that we had gone through, right? And some of the key elements that I want to highlight is that how the investors had helped Nykaa grow from where she started, and then grew into what she is. One, as I mentioned, definitely access to capital, and then strategic guidance. And when you have some of these significant investors coming on board, definitely creates a lot more credibility for your company, and then various other people are willing to come and join you. So basically, it just grew from an e-commerce platform to a retail consumer-oriented product with, I think, great valuation right now in the market. Next slide. And as I mentioned, Nykaa has raised funding from various investors. And the other aspect I also want to highlight is that they have also collaborated with some of the influencers as well. As you know that they have collaborated with Alia Bhatt or Katrina Kaif, where they not only had an opportunity to explore through funding, but also through some of the fan base that they have, some of the follower base that they have. So I wanted to highlight that aspect, saying that it's not only sometimes the funding that you get when you're collaborating with the investors, but you can also have various other soft benefits from this example, definitely on the influencer base that they have, and how a consumer market product could be easily marketed through those channels, right? And that helped them become definitely from a simple e-commerce platform to, I think, omni-channel, physical store present product in the Indian ecosystem. Okay. Next. And I have put in a lot of content. This could be leveraged when you're creating your investor deck. And that's the reason I have, but I will just give you the summary as we speak through. Right. And I think, as I covered, I think the social media and influencer collaboration helped a lot. So in this case study, I really want to highlight that aspect. And when you have some of these build the credibility in the market, it is very easy for top tier brand partnerships. You will get a lot more other partners willing to collaborate with you. And when you have made that mark, it's so easier for you to also sometimes acquire the talent, because hiring becomes easier when you have that credibility in the market, right? Because how do you compete with like an MNC hiring and then the startup hiring, right? So bringing some of those credible partners will really help. Next. And the other case study I want to cover is Uber. Uber is a global brand, and when they started this, I think this was a California-based company, a high-tech company which was trying to bring the car and then mobile transportation onto a phone, a smartphone on. And that was something never heard of. It's something very, very new. And when you're doing something like that, and the market opportunity was entire globe, right? And when the scale is entire globe and it is so technology driven, and when you have never tried before, it is extremely difficult for someone to experiment on their own, right? Next slide. So in that case, so when some of these ideas come, you have to make sure that you have a strategic partner in place. If you look through this slide, you'll see some of the prominent partners like Google Ventures was there. And then they also had some, credible investors like, Benchmark Capital, who helped them definitely with the capital. But also when you partner with firms like Google, technology access becomes very important, because in this particular idea, technology played a key role, which a single person or like a small team can never achieve, right, for scaling the technology. So in those scenarios, you have to see how to collaborate with some of these technology partners. Next slide. And yeah, I think pretty much driving the same point that who you collaborate with and the purpose of collaboration definitely helps you select some of those investors as well. And in this case, Uber being a heavy technology driven company, and the scale is global scale where there's huge investments, having some of those with deep pockets really helped them achieve what they had to. Next. Yeah, the third one is, I think you can skip to the next, I can speak through that. So the third one is I just wanted to highlight one local-based startup company called Dhruva Space. It is in the space technology. And if you look at the investors, there is Indian Angels, there is like some of our local investors like, SN is there. And we have, a lot of funding from some of the local, government-related grants, etc. So here, unique partnership is needed because space technology is definitely very high tech, and you need collaborations with organizations like ISRO. And some of the times getting access to them, even, reaching out to the people over there and then asking for partnership collaboration becomes very, very difficult. But when you have some of these investors who have access to organizations like ISRO, it becomes extremely easy for you to collaborate, and they help promote your product also better. So here I just wanted to highlight that aspect, and most of the other aspects that I had been covering also applies here. But I just want to highlight, very specific to this particular use case. And next one. And so the three case studies I mentioned are those where the collaboration with investor community has helped them grow, help them collaborate, help them, innovate in technology, etc. But there is also the other side to the story. Not all startups and the investments that come through sometimes see the end of the light, right? So Theranos is one other example where the way I think a fraudulent startup was also, was kind of surfaced through some of the efforts by the investors. So if you know about Theranos, this is like you can say biotech kind of a startup where they were claiming that with very, very little blood, or maybe a drop of blood, they could just do like hundreds of tests for a human and look for what could be the possible ailments, etc. It's pretty much like a fast track diagnostic tool. So with that particular concept, I think at an early stage, the company was able to raise funds. And throughout their maybe, angel rounds and, pre-seed, they were able to still keep this as under the wraps, and then trying to, kind of secretly managing things. But I think over few rounds of maybe pre-series, etc., there were few investors who were very firm on understanding, the asking for transparency and understanding whether those, technology is really capable of doing what they were claiming for, right? So sometimes investors do help, some of these fraud, startups or ideas to be surfaced, so that at large, I think it is beneficial to the society. And there's more detail that I've added. You can go through that. We can definitely share the slide base. And yeah, I think these are some of the few case studies I wanted to highlight, saying that it is very, very critical for us to collaborate with the ecosystem players, be it mentors, investors, advisors, and some of these platforms that you are getting, so that you can focus on making your business more scalable and making the pie larger, so that you're not only growing yourself, with respect to financial success, but you're creating employment for others, and definitely you're, you will have more and more Falgunis and then of the world, from this group, I guess. So yeah, I think that's a message I wanted to drive, and hope, this insight is helpful for you.
Thank you, Renuka, for sharing such insightful things with us. 1 minute.
Thank you. Both of you were so excellent. And now I think we come to the essence of our, session, where Radhika and team will take everyone through the modalities, the methodology of how we will take Spark Tank forward over the next few months.
So this program is going to be for 6 stages. We're going to just talk about it in briefing as to how these 6 stages would be. It's going to start with application forms and would come to the final presentation. We will take you through it. one by one. Okay. So coming to the stage 1, it is the filling the application form. As soon as we finish this, probably today we would be opening the Google Forms for you all, which you need to fill up. It would be in 2 categories for those with an operational startup or a growing business seeking to scale up the operations. And the other category is for people who have excellent ideas and they wanted to bring it to life. Okay, so you can check out which suits you best and you can go for it. And we have a criteria for selection of from these forms. So the criteria will be based on clarity of the idea, the business model and scalability, how the business is profitable and what is the scalability, how big you can make the business, financial viability, it's the profitability, how big you can make it, innovation and differentiation, who are your competitors if you're existing business, or if you have a great idea, do you have competitors in that area and how are you different from them? And finally, the entrepreneurial drive. What is your entrepreneurial passion, the mindset, what you have? All these would be the criteria for selection. And once we receive all your forms, we have a cutoff date as 25th of November. And we will do the selection and shortlist from stage 1, and you will receive a payment link. And you can go in for the payment. And then we start the stage 2. The stage 2 would be group workshops, and we are looking at 9 group workshops. This is for the shortlisted and paid participants, in which the session 1 would be networking. We would be physically meeting with co-participants and mentors, Ms. Renuka, Bodla, and Mr. Lokesh, Nathany. And then section 2 and 3 would be virtual sessions by Professor Malvika Harita from IIM Bangalore. She is amazingly amazing. Okay, she's going to take up mastering the art of pitching and brand storytelling. You will have a very good idea has to go ahead. We already have Lokesh talking about the power of storytelling, and then we have Malvika. I think it's going to be a great journey for you all to understand, because just holding a business and not able to, tell about it is something, which is a big pain point for a lot of people. So in this, she would also be covering idea opportunity validation, business modeling, and business storytelling. Then coming to session 4, that would be a physical class by mentor, Ms. Renuka Bodla. She would be cracking the code for startup success, startup methodologies, competitor analysis, customer personas, USP discovery. We all need to know what is the unique selling point we are holding, technology and product development. These would be certain aspects covered by Ms. Renuka. Then we have session 5, a physical class by mentor, Mr. Lokesh Nathany. He will be crafting a winning business plan. He would be covering sales and marketing techniques, scaling customer acquisitions efforts, overview of digital marketing, and overall presentation of the business plan. So at this stage, you will already have Renuka and Lokesh guiding you how to go about the overall presentation, because finally you will have to come up with a good presentation. So through and through, you will start receiving guidance and you all will have to start making the business plans. Then the second session 6 would again be a virtual session by Professor Harshali Damle, IIM Bangalore. Believe me, she is so excellent in financials. She will be teaching so many aspects of finances. She'll be covering understanding business financials for startups and early stage entrepreneurs. She'll be covering planning, fundraising strategies, financial modeling and budgeting, cash flow management, investor approach, revenue model, and forecasting. This is again very important. You should know how much cash to hold for the next 2 years and what you are forecasting, where will your business be after 5 years from now, and common financial pitfalls and how to overcome it, which is very, very important. So all these would be covered by Ms. Harshali Damle. And then we have session 7. That is, we are going to give you all physical exposures. We are planning few visits wherein there would be a visit to VHub. Okay, and here we would have a physical session with Ms. Sita Palachola. She's the CEO of VHub, and she would be talking about the power of incubation. Then we have Priyanka Kamath, who's the CEO of 100 Giga. She's again going to be talking there and taking a session on how to add AI edge to our everyday business. It's going to be really interesting because AI is taking up every day and most of us are afraid of AI. So she's going to give us big and small techniques how to incorporate AI in our everyday business. Then we have a session 8 it's a virtual session by director of Wadhwani Foundation. It's again, they are going to talk about investor readiness and do's and don'ts that are required. Then we have session 9. That is again another exposure. It would be a visit to institutional incubators. Okay, so just now Priya's mentioned, probably it would be Knowledge Park, what we are looking at.
IKP Knowledge Park in Genome Valley. They are the first research park in India. So they have multiple flagship companies and all within that park. It will be amazing even just to see the park. Yeah.
So I think these would be the 9 sessions that we would be taking during the second stage. And now I would like to invite YFLO Business League Head Aarti Saraf to take over the presentation to talk about the other stages.
Hi, Radhika. Thank you. So quickly to take you guys to stage 3, 4, and 5. At this point, you're expected to have a presentation in place, at least a rough draft. So you have the opportunity of one-on-one mentoring sessions with Renuka ma'am and Lokesh sir. They will be helping you fine-tune. They'll delve deeper into all kinds of details. We have covered all sessions, so it's going to be more detailed, and it's going to be very personal to each presentation. After which there will be a mock presentation of all the participants in front of a jury. This will go through a selection criteria. Top 5 candidates will be selected. After this, there is stage 5, which is again re-mentoring by Renuka ma'am and Lokesh sir, which will, because now the need to do a final presentation to present to a panel is even more compulsive. So now it'll be even more deeper, more details, more financials, everything comes into place. Post which is the D-Day. Can we change the slide? Go to the next one. So this is the final presentation. You're going to be presenting in front of potential investors. You're going to get industry experts on the floor who will give you advice. And this will also be open to FLO and YFLO members who can be the audience and probably gain as much as they can from the presentations. So yes, so this is the entire program that's been designed by FLO and YFLO. And now the platform is open for Radhika to take questions. So anybody with any queries will be addressed here.
Thank you, Aarti. Mr.
Lokesh here. Can I just add one line? So the idea is not only to help you make a good presentation, but also to ensure that how do you take your business forward and goes into a growth chart, presentation is just one part of it. But the overall idea is to be the catalyst to your business growth. Yeah.
Also, the startups who get selected, the 5 finalists, need not be the ones who are getting the benefit. Those who are part of the journey throughout till that stage also benefit a lot, actually. And then I think definitely the drive will make them take the business to the next level, even offline, right? So I think that's the greatest takeaway for sure for anybody who's just participating in it. Yeah.
Radhika, maybe you and Aarti can drop your numbers in case anybody wants to connect, to you personally also to get some questions answered and how to go about it and all that. Even for when you're filling the Google forms that we send out, if you need any help, you can please reach out to Radhika.
You included lots and lots of sessions.
Yes.
Yes.
We do have lots of sessions here. We are doing, professors from Bangalore and all are doing virtual sessions. So, but getting to hear from them itself is a very, very, it's like a fortunate thing for us, not being part of the IIM ecosystem.
But giving an opportunity to members to avail, 9 sessions from excellent speakers, well-known in their respective fields, is a lot.
Yeah. In fact, there'll be more than 9 because when you go to, let's say there are 2 people who are speaking. when you go to IKP, like I mentioned, it could be 2 people who are speaking on various aspects. So, and in between also, maybe we can just, so this is like what we have put together, but there could be additions to this also. We won't be reducing anything, but additions definitely.
Basically, this is not a competition. We would like to tell the members you're entering into a training program wherein you get a lot of clarity about your business, whether it is an idea stage or it is growth stage. You'll get a lot of clarity as to how to take your business forward. So that is the idea. We are getting the best people from the industry, from the educational institution, from the industry. And we have excellent mentors who will be holding your hand, holding you throughout the journey.
I have a question. In case I have a business idea, is this a place where you will help me figure viability, or I have to come with numbers and a plan in my head, and then you will help me implement it? What if it's an idea and I don't know how it will pan out? Like,
Yeah, so we're starting with idea validation. So I think
okay, lovely.
That's why we have made 2 forms. If you can see, there are 2 categories.
Right. So I don't
One
need to
for
have
those
numbers
with
in place.
just an idea, and one for those who have just started out or close to starting out.
Okay.
Also, just to add, suppose if you have an idea, I'm sure you would have done some homework around it in terms of your thought process from a finance perspective, how viable it is and all. I think when we jump in, we will obviously have more deeper discussions on it. And if we feel that, yes, this idea can be taken to the next level, so we'll be working with you on that. So we'll be in a way helping you also, and we'll be also the mirror to you. Right. Because we are detached to the project in that sense.
Right.
Mr. Lokesh, I have a question here. So how relevant is this program for somebody coming from the service industry?
Well, if you talk about an idea is can be a service, can be manufacturing. You look at today Uber. Uber is a service industry. Airbnb is a service industry. So it doesn't matter whether you are coming from a service industry perspective or a manufacturing perspective, or even a professional perspective where you're offering some services, can be law, can be somebody like me who does professional speaking for a living. It doesn't really matter, because ultimately every idea has to go through these stages before it hits a particular number or a particular audience. So I think it doesn't really matter. And I think, I'm sure Renuka can also add, we are pretty sector agnostic in that sense. Yes, there'll be some specifics for every sector, but broadly it'll be very sector agnostic. The whole idea is how do you, as in the beginning, Radhika said, right from the mindset perspective, you have an idea, but do you have the mind to take it to the next level? That's also equally important. So it doesn't really matter, if you ask me honestly, because I come from a service industry, and that's why I did all my life for 30 years.
Thank you.
There is a question on pivoting. They want to know if pivoting, Shivani wants to know. So actually, maybe you can answer that, Renuka?
Yes. And I saw the question, and the purpose is that actually, to see whether a particular model is working or not. And maybe you'll get insights and some of the workshop training where you understand whether the particular model works or not. And then if you have to scale, and what kind of adjustment you need to do. And that's what is the main purpose of, I think, some of these workshops. So definitely possible. And some of the trainings that we're going to provide, design thinking, lean startup methodologies, are about pivoting your startups. So yeah. And to what Lokesh mentioned about service industry, I think that is also extremely relevant. Most of the time, service industries are very traditional, models, right? But now you could get insight into how you can make it more disruptive using technology, maybe, or some other, method, so that you can make that particular service also more scalable, right? So some of those insights which you may not be able to figure out, being with your own, group of members, it can help open up various avenues when you are part of larger groups and, having these brainstorming sessions, etc. I mean, I think you never know what could come out of this whole journey, right? So, and I'm sure it's going to be positive because I've been part of so many and I've seen how people take away from, such programs. Yeah.
Also, there's a question by Deepika asking if
Yeah.
what funding is not the ultimate
Funding is
objective. So the way I look at it is
Yeah.
funding is cherry on the cake.
Correct. Yeah, very
It's
good
not the
question.
main objective. It's up to you whether you want or not. So yeah, that should not be the only driving force, because if you do that, then we are literally putting the cart before the horse.
Yeah, exactly. So, that was the whole point. Like, I mean, because if we have the idea in the mind and we don't know where are we going to end up. So, if funding is the ultimate goal in mind, like if we enroll in this program, I had this doubt whether, is it only the funding that we are going to be, is that the only ultimate goal?
If you actually look at the 2.5, 3 months journey, only one session is where we talk about the funding. And for all some of you may be investors also, who knows, by the end of it,
Yeah.
you may like some ventures and you want to partner or you want to invest, it can be the other way around also.
Yeah, very good question, Deepika. And as we shared in the case studies, how an investor has played a role beyond just, the funding aspect, right? You have seen how they help open up, collaborative opportunities, help with your technology development, market access, business development, and structuring your business model in such a way that it becomes scalable, right? So as you rightly asked, that's just, one of the elements that you'll, get as a takeaway. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so Kanika is also asking to mention from mental health perspective point of view, can we help her?
Are we talking about the mental mindset or health from an entrepreneur perspective?
No, I think she wants to set up something, set up a service, set up a company that deals with those sub-services.
I think that should be fine. We have to just see the model and see how we could help make it more disruptive. I think that's what I would say. But
yeah, today, if you look at mental health industry, one can be an individual one-person show where you're doing coaching of mental health, and second, you set up a whole set of services from providing end-to-end solution both for the corporates and the individuals.
So are we done with the questions? Anybody else? Members, you have any questions? So I think, Priya, we can go for the vote of thanks.
Yes.
Okay, so I hope all your doubts are clear and clarified. Now I invite Growthforge team member Nitika Khandelwal for the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Radhika. On behalf of FLO YFLO, and the entire team of Growthforge, I would like to take this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude to everyone who made today's event successful. Firstly, I would like to extend a sincere thanks to our speakers and mentors, Mr. Lokesh Nathany and Ms. Renuka Bodla, for sharing your valuable insights and expertise with us. I'm sure this is just the beginning of a wonderful learning experience that lies ahead at Spark Tank with both of you. I would also like to thank our past chairs for their continuous support and encouragement. Finally, I would like to thank you, our dear members, for making time and attending and participating in today's orientation. Thank you once again for being a part of this wonderful event, and we look forward to seeing you all again soon. And before we end, request everyone to fill in your entries on the Google Forms that we are going to send across. Thank you.
Thank you and all the very best.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Lokesh. Thank you so much, Renuka.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. All the best to everyone.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Great initiative, Priyanka. Priya, very good. I think it's going to make a big difference in.
Yes, I hope we do have enrollments, because we are looking at a 15 minimum guarantee.
Yeah.
Because if it is that, then it's financially viable for us to run it.
Yeah. No, but it's a terrific platform that you're creating.
Yes, I do hope, because we're going to add in so much more also, to the whole thing. And it's becoming more and more, it's blossoming into something bigger than we actually planned also.
Yeah, and the whole team.
Whoever we have called has said, yes, we will, pitch into this. So
I feel like
I
foundation.
Yeah.
Priya, I have one question. So are we also looking at branding support here, as in to create the brand?
I think you'll
In
get
terms of-
advice.
All,
You will
yeah.
definitely get advice. You will understand how to go about it, but you'll need to hire a branding company to do your branding. That's for sure.
True.
Yeah.
You'll get the knowledge, the strategy.
Definitely, you will know what is the process. I think Lokesh will be taking that up.
Okay.
You will know how to go about it, where to start, how to define it,
Right.
and then take it forward.
Right.
And our mentors are always there.
Right. Thank you. And it's a great initiative.
Thank you, and hope to see you sign up for it.
We
Yeah.
would like you to create a personal brand of your business. That is the idea.
What do you do, Geetika?
Yeah, actually, that is exactly what I'm looking at. So my business is, as I said, it's from the service industry, and I already am, like known by my name as a stylist. And I'm actually venturing into life coaching now. So my thing right now is like there's so many things that I want to do under this one umbrella, under this one brand name. So I'm looking at some help there, how to go about defining the brand
Surely, I think you're in the right place.
and blending it. Yeah.
So I work with a lot of life coaches, as a friend, mentor, myself also being a certified life coach. So I understand from where you're coming.
Thank you, Lokesh. Looking forward.
Thank you so much, Lokesh and Renuka. I think it's a beginning of a great journey now.
Yeah.
So we are
So
hoping that
excited.
One last doubt. This
Yeah.
whole 8 sessions will take how many? Like it's like how many months process? Like 1 month, 2 months, 3 months?
2 months is something, Napriya, what we're planning.
Yeah, I think it'll take 2 months given so many holidays coming up, Pratibha. Otherwise, there was no need.
Okay, 2 months.
No?
Yeah, we can-
Otherwise, we can do it. It still deserves 45 days minimum because you're seeing how many things we have put together. And then
Yeah.
we need to give time for them to make their presentation, pitch it, make course correction, come back. So
Yeah.
the way we did Mindshare, it will take its own time and we need to give it the time. There's no hurry.
Okay, right.
As long as we finish by February or so, we
Super.
want them to get the best out of it, the most that they can get out of it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because you need time to process the information, implement it,
Yeah.
not just for the entrepreneurs, for us also as mentors.
Yeah.
So I think.
And so sweet of both Lokesh and Renuka. They have hectic schedules. They wear multiple caps, and they just came on board offering their help. So I think we are very lucky to have them with us. So patient.
Yeah. No,
So
I
giving.
really, I really want. I mean, this is one thing I do about helping the co-entrepreneurs, especially women, and that was the main reason I did the Nenu Super Program also.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
some contribution we can do and give back to that community, I think it's worth it. So that's what is driving me as well. Yeah.
Yeah. We might have the next unicorn come out of these 15 minimum who enroll with us.
Yeah.
Ultimate aim, Priya.
Huh?
That's our ultimate aim, I said.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
want,
No harm in dreaming big.
Priya, the whole intention behind this is really beautiful, I must say.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think you've brought together the right team, the right people.
Yes.
Thank you again. Thank you, everybody. And I do hope you will make the most of this offer that we bring to you. It's a lot of hard work for the team, but we are all geared up for it completely. So we are at your service for the next 45 to 60 days. And do feel free to reach out to us, even from the stage where you want to fill your Google form.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
All the best.
Bye.